Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell, today is a quick little, might not be quick, I always say that, whatever. It's a postpartum update slash care, postpartum care video, and that's about it. I will go first through what I used in my postpartum care, and then I'll go through like the emotional part of it and like the breastfeeding, like the verbal parts. Not me. So first, when, like I mentioned in my labor and delivery story, if you haven't seen that, I'll leave it up here in the flash right up here, one of these two places, and go watch that. Like I said in that video, I did get 2 stitches from an episiotomy. I did not naturally tear, but I got the episiotomy done to help my beautiful little angel come out. So because of that, I needed to take care of my stitches, and it wasn't just an easy process for me. So since I got stitches, I could not essentially wipe. Like, you can't wipe down there until they're healing correctly or until you're told you can, stuff like that. So they give you a squeeze bottle, which is called a Peri bottle, and this you fill up with warm water as soon as you're able to get up. I did have an epidural, so I had to wait a little bit until I felt my legs again. Get up, fill it with warm water, have it ready. I remember the setup in my hotel room, in my hospital bathroom. I would have this filled up with warm water before I even sat down on the toilet. My Dermoplast right next to it. This cream they gave me just to use, just in case for some reason. And then I would have my pads. And then I would have a new pair of mesh underwear, which I don't have anymore to show you guys, but they give you that at the hospital. So, real quick, you fill up your Peri bottle because you cannot wipe. So you fill it up and you squeeze it around your buttocks area and your vag area, and then you pat dry. Okay, that's what I had to do for a good while because of my stitches. And then after you pat that dry, I would spray my Dermoplast on it, which is a pain and itch spray, blah, blah, blah. This is the one they did give me at the hospital, actually, because I got like 3. Because I went through so much pain and through so many of these. So, the Dermoplast, I would spray right after. And then I would also get my pad. Well, I was using the hospital pads, which are pretty big, but I ran out of those. So, these are the ones I like bought after. So I would get my pad, and on my pad, I would squeeze that cream on it. I believe it was I am so bad at that word. Anesthetic, I believe it's called. It's a cream to help with the pain. So I would put that on the pad, and then I put the pad in my mesh panties, and then I put that whole thing on. And I would literally have to do that every time I went to the bathroom while I was still in the hospital, because the bleeding, obviously you're bleeding for a while. So that was interesting, very interesting. So I was in the hospital for 2 days because when she was born, she had a little bit of a fever, and so did I. So they had to monitor us for a little bit. So I was there for, well, I had her at 11. I was there until the end of the next day and the afternoon, so a day and a half pretty much. After I left there, I have purchased these, which are the Depends. As you can tell, I had to open it, and it's pretty full. So the Depends, which are Fit Flex underwear, pretty much like adult diapers, kind of. That's like easier to describe it as. So that I purchased with the hopes of not having to use the mesh underwear and the big pad. But honestly, the mesh underwear was so much more comfortable than these because I have bigger thighs. So in the Depends, it's like made for small thighs. Like, it was not working. It was very tight around my thigh area. So I actually didn't use those, as you can tell. So I ended up going back to my mesh underwear, my pads. And on those pads, I would put these, which are the Tux medicated cooling pads. I got these at Target. It will says hemorrhoidal pads with witch hazel, but you can use it also for not just hemorrhoids, but for like a cooling sensation in, you know, your postpartum areas. So, and they're cooling, so it just felt so good because those stitches had me feeling so like tight and feeling pressure, and it was just It was a situation. So I would put those on top of my pad in my mesh underwear after cleaning myself and putting Dermoplast on. So that was the routine I pretty much had until my stitches dissolved, because that took a while. It took me almost a month to really like feel fine, like to feel completely back to normal. It took a month. And I just now had my 7-week post-op 2 days ago, and that's when they check if everything's healed fine, blah blah blah. So she checked, I got cleared to start working out and start doing activities again. No, I'm kidding, but seriously, I did get cleared, so everything dissolved properly, everything's good. And I do think it's because of the way I took care of myself. I did not push myself. Like, people would tell me, you have to go out, you have to do this, you have to do that, blah blah. Bro, with the pain I was in with those stitches, I had to like find different pillows, different textures to try to sit on my bed, to try to breastfeed my baby. Like, it was just so much that me going outside and getting fresh air was like the least of my worries. The least of them. But yeah. So that was my postpartum care. Also, something I did that I forgot to mention was I would get pads that are bigger than this. These are like the smaller ones. But I would get the long pads, like the overnight pads, and I actually would soak them in witch hazel and put them in the freezer, which you might have seen in other people's videos, and it's called padsicles. And I was like, these people crazy, but I did it because I noticed that the cooling sensation from these, and I didn't even keep these in the fridge or the freezer, I just kept them out. I was like, if that feels good and it gives me relief, maybe I should try the padsicles. So I did, and they were great. They were great. I noticed that I couldn't use them back to back to back, because then I would feel like it was causing my skin to get irritated from the coldness, I guess. But that would help too. So I loved all these things combined, except for the Depends. Don't waste money on the Depends. Just ask the hospital, can I please get a good amount of mesh underwear, like a good amount. And if you got a nurse that does she mess with you? Like mine did, thank God. She gave me a good amount of these and a good amount of mesh underwear. So that was great. Great. So this is the part of the postpartum. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Of the postpartum care. Like thing-wise, material-wise, like what I did when it came to down there. I didn't get like hemorrhoids or anything. I know some people experience that, so I can't really tell you guys how to help with that, but I guess you could use this because it says the tux is made for that. But that was pretty much it. So now I'm going to go into postpartum update kind of real quick. So if you want to hear more about that, stay with me. If not, if you're not really here for the emotional stuff or like whatever else I might have gone through postpartum, then feel free to exit out because this will get a little deeper. But yeah, here's the rest of it. Okay, so postpartum update wise, I got discharged from the hospital. Everything was good with me and the baby. Yeah, everything was good with me and the baby. The stitches was a pain and a half. Like, it was very, very painful, very uncomfortable. I didn't want to see people. Like, I couldn't have visitors because I was pretty much walking around the house in underwear and nursing bras, because if I wore pants, it was too tight down there. It was just so many things. So the stitches had me mentally, like during my baby blue moment, had me even more, like I just felt down. I felt down because I couldn't really see people, and people want to see you as soon as you have the baby. After that, trust me, they forget about you. They ain't asking to see you, the baby, nothing. So everyone's like, oh, let me know when I can come through. And if I really felt good, I would have been like, come now. But I didn't, so didn't really see nobody. Still haven't, tú sabes. So that had me pretty sad because I just couldn't do much for myself, and it was very uncomfortable. And I was exclusively breastfeeding. I am now 2 months postpartum. So I was exclusively breastfeeding, and I was having my stitches heal. So I would have to get up every time the baby woke up to, grab her and come back to my bed, put the boppy on, open my nursing bra, have her latch, which was still super painful, obviously, straight out the hospital. She latched very well, but because she latched very well, it's like the suck that she would do was just so painful. Obviously your nipples have to get used to it. It was my firstborn child, so it's not like they were already, so that was very painful. So I was pretty down. The weight gain in general throughout my pregnancy, not as much throughout my pregnancy, but now has pretty much hit me pretty hard because I was at my best physically about 2 years ago. Then I had gained weight, and then I got pregnant, so I gained more weight, and now I'm here, So mentally, it's just been a lot. The weight gain has been a lot. You're very lonely. Well, I am very lonely when it comes to friends. I have no family here besides my immediate family, my parents, my sister, and then my aunt and my cousin. But like I have, you don't have like aunts and uncles and this cousin and that cousin and these people coming over, and like I don't have that. I'm very grateful to have my best friends, my friends in general. But my best friends are her godmothers. They're both twins and they're both her godmothers. So they've been super, super, super freaking helpful. And if they weren't, I think mentally I would have been even more jumbled, because it's just a lot. Like you get hit with like, okay, boom, you're a mom. And it's like pregnancy doesn't really prepare you for that, because you don't know. My biggest fear was breastfeeding. I didn't know if she would latch. I didn't know if I would make enough milk. I didn't know how long it would take for my milk to come in, things like that. So they were super helpful, are still helpful. My mom is my biggest support system. Obviously, my boyfriend had to get used to being a father now. I had to get used to being a mother. We had to get used to waking up every 2 hours. So it was easier a bit on him in the beginning because I was exclusively breastfeeding, so I would have to get up regardless, but he would help me change the diapers and stuff. So it's just a lot. Like, it's a lot off the get. Like, it's a lot off the gate, off the get, whatever. It's just a lot. What else postpartum wise? Breastfeeding for me was actually, I exclusively breastfed, so I felt very attached to her, and I still feel very attached to her. But the pain, it was very painful, and breastfeeding it took a very heavy toll on me mentally, because I had her and then they have a week appointment. I believe we took her in at her like 8 days. She was 8 days old, and they did blood work, and he was like, oh, she lost too much weight, here, formula, give it to her. And at this point I was so like on myself about breastfeeding that I was like, oh my god, I'm not making enough, I have to give her formula. And that doctor was horrible. He like literally gave me a pack, here, blah blah, okay, bye, see you later. And I'm like, sir, when do I give her this formula? Am I stopping breastfeeding? Do I have to give her formula after I breastfeed? Like, what? He's like, oh, sorry, no, breastfeed and then offer her 2 ounces right after. And I'm just like, okay. But then I realized that he took her weight and she had only lost 7% body weight, and I'm not no doctor, but I was like, this just seems weird. Like, he seems like he didn't even think about anything, you know what I mean? So I googled it, and it said that 7 to 10% body weight loss. Let me not even lie to you. Real quick, because I don't want to sound crazy. Yeah, a 7 to 10% loss is considered normal for breastfed babies. And most babies should regain this lost weight by days 10 to 14, right? So she was an exclusively breastfed baby. So I'm like, she only lost 7%, which is like the minimum on that scale. She was nowhere close to 10%. So I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. And I didn't want to give her formula until I had to. Not because formula is bad or because of anything like that. I just wanted to give her the best. And the best for me, in my opinion, was breast milk at the moment. So I wanted to give her breast milk as much as I could for as long as I could. So my boyfriend actually is pretty much friends with like a pediatrician. So I was like, let's go get a second opinion, because I just don't agree with this. I don't feel good about it. It's different if he would have talked me through it, something. And especially with what I saw online, I was like, I feel like I need a second opinion. So we drove an hour and change to go to this pediatrician's office. Mind you, my stitches were only a week old, so I was dying. I was sitting on a pillow in our car while he was driving in the back, and it was just so painful. It was just so painful, so painful. But we got there. The pediatrician saw her. Point is, I was right. She's like, she's fine. She lost a safe amount of weight. It's normal for them to lose weight, and she is only a breastfed baby, so she should be fine. If she doesn't regain this weight, then we'll talk from there, but she should be fine. Just breastfeed her. So I was like, all right, great. And then when I'm not breastfeeding, I'll pump to make sure I'm giving her as much as possible. The first pediatrician had to blood work. So when we get home, the first pediatrician calls me and he says I have to go to the hospital with Alexi because she has jaundice. Jaundice is when a part in their body, I totally forgot, but I want to let you guys know because that was so scary. Okay, yeah, it's in their liver. So a liver condition that causes yellowing of a newborn baby's skin and eyes. So this could cause, the cause is often an immature liver. Infection, medications, blood disorders may cause more serious cases. Okay, whatever. So it is a liver condition. So he's like, I forgot how much he said on the scale that she was, but it was not a good amount. So he was like, she's this much on the scale of jaundice. You have to take her in now, go to the emergency room, see what they can do. Literally like that. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, call me if you need anything. And then he hung up and I was just like, wow. I automatically start crying because, again, nothing was explained to me. Didn't say that's normal. If you look it up, it's normal in preterm babies. And she was technically not full term and things like that. So whatever. So we go into the hospital, they check her. She is high on the jaundice scale, so they kept her. Me and him were lucky enough to both be able to stay. You're only supposed to have one parent stay, I believe, but we both stayed. So they had to put her on under lights and put them under lights in like a incubator, and they cover their eyes and they're just naked there and with a diaper on, and you know that's what helps take the yellowness out of their skin and stuff like that. Something about bilirubin levels, I don't know. So me and him were there a whole night. I was pumping so we could feed her with a bottle because they didn't want me taking her out of the incubator to breastfeed. So I was pumping. That was actually the first time I pumped in an ER, you know, like after getting to the ER and stuff. So that was pretty scary, pumping right then and there. Like I wasn't at home prepared, like it was just a lot. So we stayed there. Thank God her jaundice level went down, so we were able to leave the next day. And then after that, damn right, I started going outside because you could take them outside to get vitamin D, get the sun, stuff like that, which helps a lot, they said. So I would go out with my mom on long walks, and that took a lot mentally. And then also a lot of people tell you like a baby can make or break your relationship and stuff. But whoa, does a baby put you through it? And it's not the baby, it's just now you're two humans that have to agree on how to raise a human, what to do for this beautiful little human, who's getting up, who's doing what. It's just a lot. It was just a lot, and it still is. It's still pretty hard. But you have to try to understand each other. You have to understand that you're both new to this. You both have to communicate better. Communication is super key postpartum, whether it's with your support system, a partner, family members, friends. If you need your friends, tell them, I need you, I need to go out, or I can't go out, I feel horrible, so I want to stay in, I hope that's okay, I hope you can help me. Just communicate with people in your life when postpartum, because whether it's baby blues, whether it's postpartum depression, if you're not communicating with people and you're just trying to seem like the strongest mother out there and I don't need nobody and it's okay, I'm fine, you're gonna go nuts. Like, it was just bad. I caught myself not telling anyone anything, and like a week later, after I had Alexi, my boyfriend walked into the room and I was just crying. He's like, what's wrong? What happened? And I'm like, nothing. But I just feel sad. Like, I felt like I wasn't making enough milk for her. I felt like the jaundice thing, I felt like it was my fault, but it wasn't. It was just, it's a lot. So just communicate with people. Don't dig yourself into a hole that you don't have to be in, especially if you have people there for you. If you don't reach out to someone, there's people to help you through a lot of things. Like if it's breastfeeding problems, there's people like La Leche League, which is amazing. There's lactation consultants. You know, no matter what it is, try to find someone to speak to. But yeah, that was that. Back to breastfeeding. I breastfed exclusively for pretty much 2 months. I'm hitting my 2 months now. Just towards the last week, I've been implementing more formula because I am not making enough anymore, and I wasn't after that month and a half. So slowly I've been letting my body just relax, and you know, I'm slowly letting the breastfeeding go, which makes me pretty sad. I don't know why, but it just makes me sad because I gave her everything I could. So I'm not beating myself up about it. I gave her everything I could. But it is, I guess, better for me to stop now that it's naturally stopping, and now that I am going to go back to work at some point. And formula is great. Like anyone should tell you, whether it's formula, breastfeeding, whatever type of anything you have to do to feed your baby, as long as they're fed, as long as they're healthy, it's fine. Be happy, be proud. There's a lot of people that don't have the blessing of being able to breastfeed, so I'm super, super thankful that I was able to breastfeed her for so long and exclusively breastfeed her for pretty much almost 2 months. I exclusively breastfed, so I'm super happy that I was even able to do that. Props to people that could do it for more. That's great, but I'm glad I was able to do as much as I could. And yeah, I am now fully healed. I am good to start working out, good to start pretty much doing everything I used to do. My baby girl is healthy. She is now almost 9 pounds. She is almost 20 inches long. She's just so perfect, and she makes me so happy, and I could feel like absolute doo-doo for no reason, and I look at her and I'm like, wow. Like I have this gorgeous little human that depends on me for everything. And I can't feel no type of way about myself because I wouldn't want her to feel any type of way about herself, and that helps me. Like she helps me want to be more confident in myself. Now that I can start working out and being more active, I will be. I do that Spanish thing, like with my faja. Don't wear it enough. A faja is a waist trainer. I don't wear it enough, but I did wear it. So that was part of my postpartum, I guess, too, my postpartum care stuff. But I do wear it when I can, when I'm not too lazy. But yeah, I'm gonna get this body back. I will. I'm gonna put it on this video, put it on out into the universe, so that way I can hold myself accountable. Cause I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be the hot mom. I promise. But no, all jokes aside, I just want to be healthier for her. And yeah, if you want to meet my beautiful baby girl, she is in my labor and delivery, which was linked somewhere around here. But go watch my labor and delivery story. She gets to meet you guys at the end, and you guys get to meet her. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any postpartum questions, or if you are going through it yourself and it might be a little more than baby blues, if it's just baby blues, whatever it may be, you guys can always hit me up in the comments. If you don't want to leave it as a comment, I always leave my Instagram down below in the description box. You guys can DM me. Honestly, postpartum wise, like what I've gone through, I don't want anyone to feel alone. And if I have any mothers out there that have any questions, any worries, just need someone, I am more than happy to just listen and help and talk and whatever it may be. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for having patience with me. This should be my last postpartum baby mommy material kind of stuff for a while, and I should be getting back to my regular type of videos, tutorials, reviews, all that stuff. And yeah, but as always, I will always be a mom. I'm a proud mom. If you have any questions, feel free to comment under any of my upcoming videos, my old videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting me, and hopefully I have you guys on this journey for a long time to come. Thank you guys so much, and I love you, and I'll see you in a video pretty soon. Bye.